Chapter 3, Worksheet number 6, Part C. So what we see over here is that now the balls are not moving at a constant velocity. So be really careful. Whenever you see that, it means the object is either gaining speed or losing speed. So for example, we can tell that D is gaining speed, so it's accelerating down, while E is losing speed on its way up. So in such cases, we have what we call an acceleration. And whenever you have an acceleration like this, be careful because that equation, y is y initial plus vy times t, is not valid. The reason why is because you would have to add a little bit more to that equation, so you would need an extra term there that takes into account the acceleration. Since we are in chapter 3, we haven't learned about that yet, so this is an introduction to chapter 4. So I'm not going to use that equation for now. I'm going to leave this for chapter 4, and I'm still going to try to answer those questions. So question A, calculate the total displacement of ball D. So ball D is starting from here. This is the final position. The initial position is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 meters above the origin. So I can say that y initial is 10 meters. I cannot calculate v because it keeps changing. So what can I do? The only thing I could calculate is what we call the average velocity. And to do so, I would use an equation that you used in grade 10 maybe. So it would be a speed, so I take the absolute value of this and distance divided by time. So the distance would be 10 meters traveled in 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. And that's the only thing I can calculate over here. And if I want to write it as a vector, I could say that V average is negative 2.5 meters per second J hat. And again, I cannot answer question C because I don't know yet the proper equation. So be really careful whenever the velocity is not constant. You need to use a more elaborate type of equation that will be studied in chapter 4. So we're in the same situation for ball E. The speed is changing, so we won't be able to answer question C. Right? We won't be able to tell the equation because the equation that we should be using is this one, which we don't know yet. Right? So I'm not going to use that. Now for A, I can calculate the displacement. So the displacement is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 meters up. And by the way, for ball D, the displacement was negative 10 meters. So for ball C, the displacement is 10 meters up. And I can answer question B, which is calculate the velocity vector of the ball. If it keeps changing, calculate the average value. So V average, this one is positive, and the object is moving by 10 meters in 3 seconds. Which gives us roughly an a vertical velocity of 3.3 meters per second j hat. And that's all we can calculate.